have you.
Good to see you.
All right. Well, President Trump is on the campaign trail this week pushing his agenda. We saw him speak in Florida and North Carolina yesterday, and he'll be headed to Michigan tomorrow and Nevada this weekend as well.
Yeah, that's right. The president got a nice surprise today, at least how he started the day. He was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for brokering that historic peace deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. That nomination is sure to drive the liberals nuts. We're going to talk about that a little later. But first, let's talk about all of the hit pieces against the president this week. And just when you thought you didn't have another one coming, boom, the Woodward stuff drops today. You have a book from Michael Cohen, his former fixer, a book about the First Lady, Melania Trump, and of course the fallout from that Atlantic piece that has accused the president of making disparaging remarks about military members. Well, let's break down all of this with Boris Epshteyn. He is the Trump 2020 campaign senior advisor. Boris, welcome.
Sean, great to be with you, my friend.
So, I mean, seriously, the president woke up this morning, he goes, I got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Not a bad way to start a day. And then these excerpts from Bob Woodward's next book come out, making him sound as though he was playing down the threat of the coronavirus. What do you make of it?
It's a usual nothing burger that the left and their comrades in the media are trying to put out there. As Kayleigh McEnany, the press secretary, said, the president was urging calm on the country. That's what he's supposed to do. He is our leader. And then what he was talking about Woodward about in February was how serious this virus is. We know that the president has taken the virus seriously. You know how we know about it? Because he closed down travel from China in late January when Joe Biden and the Democrats said it was xenophobic to do so. The president has led on the coronavirus, and he's continuing to lead us out of this plague, and the economic numbers say just that.
You know, Boris, right before Kayleigh's scheduled briefing today, these excerpts from the Woodward book drop. And I had a feeling, I'm going, thank God I'm not press secretary anymore. I know what that was like when news breaks just ahead of that. But it was interesting because almost the entire briefing focused on it, and they were accusing the president of playing down the threat that the virus posed. Let me play you Kayleigh's response.
This president
tapes, it will not appear that the president lied to the American public about the threat posed by COVID.
The president has never lied to the American public on COVID. The president was expressing calm, and his actions reflect that.
You know, Boris, just like you said, the president's expressing calm, and yet every single question was not just about the virus, but they were trying to get her to say that the president lied about this.
Well, we know the story, right, Sean? You experienced it when you were press secretary. I experienced it when I was assistant comms director there working with you. The story is that the media, most of it, over 90% of it, is in bed with the Democrats, and they are the communications arm of the Democrat Party of Joe Biden in this case. These reporters, most of them don't care about getting to the truth. What they care about is attacking the president. Here is the bottom line. The bottom line is this president closed travel from China in late January because of the coronavirus, because of how deadly it was. He's continued to call out China, continuing to call out the WHO, the World Health Organization, for being the puppet of China and covering up for the virus. And he's done everything he can to keep Americans safe, from slowing down the spread to putting in the Paycheck Payment Protection Program in place, to signing the First CARES Act, to putting in Operation Airbridge to make sure that anybody in any place that needs medical supplies gets it, and so much more. Again, look at where this country is today. The manufacturing numbers are the best in almost 2 years. The real estate starts, the home building starts are the best in history. You've got great numbers on jobs, 10.6 million jobs created in the last 4 months, a record of all time. And the stock market is back up today to pretty much all-time highs. Yeah. This country went through a plague and now is stronger than it's ever been. That's a huge testament to this president, to the tax cuts, the deregulation, the fair trade deals, and all the policies that he put in place before COVID-19 came from China and after.
Boris, let me pivot to this Atlantic hit piece that was done. The thing that I found so fascinating about the story that claims that the president didn't take or called people who died in war losers and suckers. That's not the president I know. That's not the president that I was around in key moments when the president had to deal with military members and expressing a loss for life. It blew me away that would happen. But what has taken me back more than anything so far is that 21 people, Boris, have come on the record put their names out there and said this didn't happen, and 14 of them were on the trip in the room with them. Well, there's only so many people that can be in the room. Jeffrey Goldberg, who wrote the article, can't get one to go on the record to prove he said it.
Jeffrey Goldberg is a joke. The Atlantic is a joke. I put out an op-ed yesterday on Newsweek talking about the collusion. And yes, I'm using that word. The lips can get triggered all they want. The collusion between the Democrats and the media.
I wanted to ask you about this story in the Washington Post over the weekend that talked about how the campaign's fundraising advantage has seems to have evaporated. And now the president is willing to put in, at least seemingly, his own money. Let me have you listen to what he said about that.
We have much more money than we had last time going into the last 2 months. I think double and triple. But if we need it anymore, I'd put it up personally, like I did in the primaries last time. Whatever it takes, we have to win.
Boris, I get that he's willing to put it all in, but where are you guys at a campaign, in the campaign, fundraising-wise and dollar-wise?
The campaign is fine. The campaign is strong. And it's what the president said. It's whatever it takes. We are all hands on deck to win on November 3rd, to beat Joe Biden and continue the strength of this country, and to beat back that collusion that I was talking about before. Maybe it was the deep state that interrupted us, the collusion between the Democrats and the media. This campaign's firing on all cylinders. We're putting out ads on digital, on TV. We're all over the country delivering the message. There was a story that came out in the last couple of days, Sean, that Joe Biden has no field offices across the country, while Trump victory between the RNC and the Trump campaign have hundreds of offices.
Boris, I don't think people fully appreciate that. You're absolutely right. That right now, Trump campaign, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are going door to door. The Biden campaign is not.
No, the Biden campaign is hiding out in the Delaware basement. And I'm not just saying that to make fun TV for you. It's the truth. The Biden campaign is not across the country. We're reaching millions and millions and millions of voters in all the battleground states, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, and Nevada, Arizona, and on and on and on. But literally in person, knocking door to door, while the Biden campaign is doing nothing but putting Joe Biden. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but on Labor Day, the president of the United States was on the north portico of the White House giving a press conference. Joe Biden looked like he was at a retirement home with 4 or 5 people around him in some garden. It's a total joke. Biden is still a candidate for the presidency. He does not have the stamina, does not have the mental acuity. Joe
Boris,
Biden.
it sounds like you've taken a little bit of whatever Kimberly Guilfoyle took before her speech. You're all jacked up, ready to go. Unfortunately, you want to do the Guilfoyle challenge?
What's the Guilfoyle challenge? I'll do whatever you want. What do you want?
Oh, well, you got to look it up. Come on, she did it live on the Spice
to come.
That's right. There you go. All right, Boris, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, check in soon. All right, coming up, President Trump held a big rally in North Carolina yesterday. He's been spending a lot of time in that state. We're going to talk about it with North Carolina Congressman Dan Bishop. And later, we'll ask Virginia Congressman Rob Whitman if Republicans can reverse the trend in his once solid red state. And it's incredible how a high school student can drive liberals absolutely crazy. They're now apoplectic because former Covington student Nick Sandman got accepted into a university. Trish Regan's going to give her reaction. There's a lot more on Spicer and Company.